It's time for the mailbag!
Alright guys, welcome back to another edition of the Z-Talk Mailbag.
Woohoo!
So we have lots of voice submissions. Well, a couple anyways this time.
We always love voice submissions.
We do. So keep those voice submissions coming in, and we always want more mail. We have quite a bit of mail in the mailbag, so we're going to try to put a big dent in it.
So our first couple voice questions come from the same person. They come from the Zelda Knight. So let's go to her first question.
Alright.
Hey Z-Talk, I'd just like to ask Din what the proper pronunciation is for the people of Hyrule. Is it Hylan, Hylian, or Hyrulean? I've heard lots, but I'm pretty sure it's Hylian. Thanks Z-Talk, and see ya!
Alright, Din, it looks like she wants your opinion. You're our resident expert on this.
Well, I'd like to point out that I am not an expert by any means. I did the segment because I thought it was cool, and yeah. But in my opinion, I have always pronounced it Hylian, like you're a Hylian person. I have heard Hyrulean, which makes a lot of sense if you're using it in that kind of context where you're saying he's from Hyrule, so he's a Hyrulean, but I say Hylian. So I hope that answers your question, and I'd like to stress that I am not the expert on the subject.
You are between me and you.
Okay, well, sure. And I do believe she has another question, so let's go to that.
Hey Z-Talk, another from the Zelda Knight. Why is it the Keaton quiz? Is it a random fact? I don't know. You tell me.
That's a good question.
You know what? It's the Keaton quiz because it's the Keaton quiz. Okay, no, that's not a real
That's
answer.
a horrible answer.
Hey, anyways, if you remember from Majora's Mask, they have a Keaton quiz, and we decided, hey, what better title to use Zelda facts questions with than Keaton quiz, because in the game, they use Zelda facts.
Well, facts from the game, yeah.
From
Majora's Mask.
That game.
So, I don't know, we thought it was kind of, I mean, you guys know me and I love puns, and that's kind of what I do. And I thought it was appropriate. I thought it was an appropriate title.
Yeah. So that's why it's the Keaton quiz.
And if you notice, I play the Keaton quiz music at the beginning of the Keaton quiz.
True enough.
Uh-huh.
So, thank you very much for your 2 questions, the Zelda Knight.
And we'll move on to our text questions.
Alright, so our first mailbag question comes from DaDude1200. And the question is, do you think Majora in Skyward Sword would be awesome?
Not really.
To me, simply put, the answer would be no, because it wouldn't make any sense, really, to have Majora in Skyward Sword.
We might... I mean, I highly, highly doubt it, and I think this is going out on a limb. We might see the Dark Tribe and all that. We're thinking that's going to be the... I mean, that's kind of been confirmed with Girahim, but I don't think that we will see Majora at all, and I don't think I'd want to, because he is so specific to Termina, and yeah.
To Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Our next question comes from Dante Link Cloud, and he asks, did you like the Indigo Goes?
From Majora's Mask?
From Majora's Mask. So what do you say to that?
Yeah. Of course, they were awesome!
I think so too. And the second part of the question is, would you like them to make a cameo in the next game?
You know, this kind of goes along with what we just said about Majora. I think when you take something that really was a hit and was an awesome, unique character or idea or concept, and then you continually reuse it, it loses its value. So, I mean, a cameo is short and sweet and to the point. It would be kind of cool, like, if it was like, hey, the Indiegogo's just left last night, or whatever. It'd be like, hey, that's
But not
cool.
actually in the game.
And I highly doubt we'll see them, because they're from Termina, you know, they're in a different world or dimension or whatever you call it from Hyrule. So.
For sure. Our next question comes from Sawyer, and Sawyer asks, what is your favorite boss battle in Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and Majora's Mask?
Those are my 3 favorite games.
Can you choose just one favorite
I
out
don't-
of all 3, or do you want to choose
No.
one each?
I think, well, he's asking what each, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, from Ocarina of Time, that one's really hard for me to pick one. I really like Baronade. I've always really liked Morpha. Volvagia is really cool. He's kind of easy, but cool concept. It's glorified whack-a-mole. From Twilight Princess, I'd pick Agarok. Axel the Beast is yelling at me now. But I did like Agarok. I thought he was really cool. And from Majora's Mask, I would pick Got, for sure. The bull running around at the top of the tower. Yeah.
For Ocarina of Time, I would personally, I'd have to choose like Twin Rover or something like that.
Twin Rover was another really good one in that game.
And Twilight Princess, I don't have a specific that I really like all that much.
You said you liked Fyrus, the guy with the chains where you pulled him.
I do, but I don't have a favorite.
Okay.
And then Majora's Mask, I have to agree with Din and say Got.
Our next question comes from
Bob
Turok. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. In your opinion, what is the easiest, hardest, worst, and best Zelda game?
So I think we should do this by category. So the easiest Zelda game comes to be
Twilight Princess.
Twilight Princess, where they hold your hand and walk you
But
through
I
the game.
loved it. I loved that game. Yeah, it was easy, and but I loved it. It was a great game.
Alright, and the next category is
Hardest.
the hardest. I personally have to say Link's Awakening would be one of the harder ones, for sure.
I would pick The Adventure of Link as the hardest one for me.
So we're in complete agreement that the earliest
The early
Zelda
games.
games are the hardest. Now the next category is the worst Zelda game of the series. I think we're in
Ready?
agreement for that too.
The
The CDIs. You know what? I know some of you guys say, hey, those are not Zelda games. And you know what? For worst Zelda game, we'll say that they're Zelda
The
games.
CDIs.
And
the
the best
best.
Zelda game. This is
Well,
a
that's
tough question.
easy. No,
I think it's a tough question.
okay. Well,
Okay, you say what you think.
I would pick Ocarina of Time, but I'm totally biased because it was my first. Majora's Mask was really, really good too. Wind Waker's a good game. The graphics are hard on me, but I guess I'd pick Ocarina of Time, the original Ocarina of Time.
I would have to say Ocarina of Time, and you know what? I'm really liking Ocarina of Time 3D.
I am too. But I don't
It's
know.
very true to the original.
I still pick the original.
Alright, speaking of that, we have a question from Colonel Majora 777 again, and he asks, now that the Zelda series has gone through 2D, portability, motion control, and now 3D, what new types of gameplay do you guys think fans can expect?
Well, I don't know what we can expect, but I know what I want.
What do you want?
Simulation.
Well, Din wants to be in the game. However, that's probably not likely for quite a while. I think they're going to take that step back, do the multiplayer using like the 3DSs with the Wii U. You know what would be really cool though?
What?
A Zelda game you play on the Wii U, and then say, oh, somebody else needs the TV or whatever, just like they were
And you
showing at E3, and then you pull the screen onto your controller.
Well, we can almost be guaranteed that's what we're going to see.
But it'd be even better if you could, say, go on a car trip and do that, and not have to be anywhere near the Wii U.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
So, the ultimate in portability. And our last question for this episode of The Mailbag comes from Sage of Darkness, and he asks, do you guys think that Hero's Shade from Twilight Princess is the hero of time from Ocarina of Time?
You know what? I've heard this theory several times that the hero shade is somehow one of the previous links, and I think it's possible. I doubt it personally. I think he's supposed to just be a teacher, but it does make sense, when you talk about it. I think it's more likely the link from Majora's Mask, who got lost in the forest looking for his friend, because he could have grown up and become a Stalfos, just because that's what happens when you get lost in the woods, rather than Link from Ocarina of Time. That's my opinion. So you
think Majora's Mask?
I think it's more likely the Link from Majora's Mask.
That's fair. You know what? I personally think it could be the Link from Ocarina of Time, or it could just be some random guy that's supposed to guide you through.
Yeah, he's your teacher. He's not... Yeah, I don't know. The only thing, like I said, the thing that doesn't fit with it being from Majora's Mask is the adult and child thing, but, I mean, you could grow up. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. So, thanks again, guys, for all of your mailbag questions. Keep sending them in, especially voice questions. Voice questions get a front seat when it comes to the mailbag.
Right. So, we will see you guys later, and we'll move on to our next section.